Well, these supplies are huge. A lot of the kids go to school, especially in underserved communities, without book bags, backpacks, school supplies. We're able to provide not only the book bags, but we load them up with school supplies. We hear from teachers and parents every year. It makes a difference. You know, you have a handful of children coming in without school supplies, and they're not on an even setting with their peers. I mean, it can impact those kids. So we focus on the elementary schools, especially those that have the greatest need, the underserved communities. And I think it shows that it's our 10th year, and we continue to do it. We continue to add more supplies. And I think the fact that we hear from parents and teachers tells us this certainly works and it's something that's needed. Well, this partnership's huge with Huntington. I mean, Huntington's been a loyal supporter of Stuff the Bus going back a decade. They support us across the board. Huntington does a workplace campaign, their employees give, they give corporate support, and for them to volunteer, and I mean, their president's here today packing the bus with school supplies. These are huge. These are partnerships and relationships that United Way builds, and I think it trickles down to the employees to see that United Way is doing good work in communities. It's a 4-county collaborative, so it's touching Mahoning, Trumbull, Columbiana, and Mercer. And the way we do it is we reach out to the teachers. We let them select the children that need it most. They know best, so we'll call the schools. They'll contact the elementary teachers and they'll get the supplies to the students that need them the most. We start getting calls back in June from parents that ask, are you going to do it again? Are the school supplies available? And what we do, we keep about 15 back at the office. We have a handful of families that call us direct that are really in great need. They'll come to the office and we'll give them supplies directly. Well, across the board, as a United Way, we see greater need. You know, once the COVID situation hit, we saw a greater need for food. We were doing virtual after school rather than face-to-face. What we're hearing is some teachers reached out and said, even though our school may be going online, are you going to do this again? Because a lot of our kids still are going to need school supplies. So yes, the need is greater, and the need touches the entire valley. I think there's certain communities people think maybe there's not a need, like Canfield or Poland. We get need there. There's certainly families that need help there as well. So I think one of the things we like about this partnership, it's a collaborative amongst a lot of organizations, but we're touching 4 counties. We're hitting a lot of kids. There'll be 1,000 book bags that are going out to the community. So we do a lot of work in after school and wraparound services. A lot of our after school we're planning to do virtual, so it's going to look different than what it has in the past. Some of the schools that plan to go face-to-face, we'll continue to do after school and wraparound in a face-to-face setting. But we're going to have to adjust. We're going to have to move on the fly. Things could be different, quite different 2 weeks from now than what they are now. So it is challenging. And I also think it's more challenging to raise dollars in an environment where people are scared and people are concerned, even though the need's greater probably than it's been in the past 10 years. When COVID hit, we wanted to focus on the basic needs, food, clothing, shelters. We did a lot of work in underserved communities, making sure children were getting food, making sure families were getting food. We focus on utilities with our partners. We want to make sure that the clothing and housing are available. So those are things, if you're out there and you feel that you're struggling there, please call United Way, and you know, we'll do our best to try to, at least if we can't help you directly, we'll get you in contact with the right organization that can provide you support.
For over a century, Farmers National Bank has stood strong. Through booms and busts, peaks and valleys, we've learned to know the seasons and how to grow in each of them. During challenging times, everyone is reminded of the value of solid relationships in both life and business. Farmers, stand strong.